it's Ellen here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to play How Did It End off of the Tortured Poets Department album on the guitar. I wanted to give a quick shout out and thank you to my patrons for voting on this song as this month's patron picks. So if you want a little bit of voting power in the order that you see me teach all of Taylor's songs on this channel, make sure to check it out. I will link it down below. Here is a quick overview of everything I'll be covering in this tutorial today, and with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so to play this song you only need to know 5 different chord shapes. I am going to start you with our bar chord, which is our F major, but I'm going to show you a non-barred way to play this as well. But first of all, this is our bar chord F. It sounds like this. And by the way, if you don't know how to read these chord charts you're seeing on screen, that is something I cover in my brand new beginner series right here on YouTube, so make sure to check that out right here. But as promised, if bar chord Fs are hard for you, you can also replace this with your F over C for this song. The only thing is if you play your F over C, you will have to stick with strumming because the picking pattern won't work for this one. So for picking, you do want to have your bar chord F, okay? The next chord shape is our D minor. We also have our A minor. Then there's our C. And then the last chord shape is our G major. And those are the only 5 chords you need to know to play through this song. Alright guys, so go ahead and pause the video and take as much time as you need to memorize these chord shapes, as well as practice transitioning back and forth between them, because it'll make learning the rest of the song so much easier. And like I said, if you're not quite comfortable with bar chords yet, you can replace that F major with the F over C variation, but it will prevent you from being able to play the picking pattern. So if bar chords is something that you are looking to work on, I do have a bar chord mini series right here on YouTube, so I'll link that in the corner for those of you who are interested. But once you come back, then we can go ahead and talk about the strumming that you could use to play through this song. Alright guys, so as I always say, if you are brand new to playing guitar, or you're somebody who struggles with playing guitar while singing at the same time, the first thing I would suggest doing is to bring up the song and go ahead and go through the entire thing with a single down strum as you sing through the song, and just take this time to really get used to what word you're on, what syllable you're singing, whenever those chords are changing. So here's a quick example of what that would look like. Come one, come all, it's happening again. The empathetic hunger descends. Alright, so that's just a really quick example, but you would essentially want to do that for the entire song and just really make sure you know where those chords are changing. And it's actually something you do right now if you check out my Patreon page. I do have this entire guide available to download and print out, so I'll make sure to leave that link in the description box. But once you come back from that, we can go ahead and add to this pattern to make more of a full strumming pattern that you can apply for this song. Alright guys, so since this song is originally played on piano, I would recommend trying to finger pick it if you can, but I did come up with a strumming rhythm that sounds pretty similar to the piano version. As you can see at the top of the screen, we are going to be in a triplet rhythm. There's going to be 3 sub beats per beat. So it's going to count like this. We have 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Alright, so we don't see triplet rhythms quite as often as like straight 8th note or 16th note rhythms, but it is pretty simple to get under your belt. So what we want to do is we're going to play this pattern through 1 time per chord throughout most of the song. However, there are going to be a couple of places where we want to split this measure in half. So I'm going to go ahead and add a vertical line here in the middle, and basically what that represents is sometimes where we want to split the measure or change chords. But I'll get to that in a second. First of all, let's go ahead and take a look at that first verse. We're starting here on our F major chord, and what you want to do is, like I said, play this pattern through 1 time. So on F we have down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Next chord D minor, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. A minor to C. And that little round of chords is how you would play all the verses. And that's about the tempo that we want to go as well. So we've got F, D minor, A minor, C. You got it. Here that's an example of the verse. If you wanted to strum through this song, then you could use the same strumming pattern for the entire song. So let's go ahead and take a look at that chorus. This is where we want to utilize that kind of split measure. So in our chorus, we're going from F to C to G, and between the C and G is where we want to split the measure and change chords halfway through. So on F, we have the full pattern, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. To C for just the first half, down, down, up, to G to finish it out. All right, and that line is how we're going to play most of the chorus. We've got F, C, switch G, F for full measure, C for half, and G for half. So now we've gone through a verse and a chorus example. Like I said, you can use this strumming pattern for the whole song. The bridge is going to be the only place that's a little bit different because the chord order changes. However, you still can use this pattern, and what you would do is play it through one time full for each chord. So looking at the bridge, we're starting on D minor. We've got down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, G. That's the bridge. Say it once again with feeling, how the death rattle, breathing, silenced as the soul is leaving, the deflation of our dreaming, leaving me bereft and reeling, my beloved ghost and me, sitting in a tree. So now you can see we can use this strumming pattern for the entire song. That was all the different parts of the song, and they're all going to be played exactly the same as you repeat through the different areas of the song. But like I said, I actually prefer finger picking this song when I play through it, so let's go ahead and jump into how to do that. Alright guys, so again, go ahead and pause the video and take as much time as you need to really get this strumming rhythm under your belt. It is fairly uncommon when we do the triplet rhythm, but Taylor does use it in some of her songs. It's a good idea to learn it now, but like I said, if you are more interested in the finger picking pattern I have to show you, it's actually not as hard as it might sound, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright guys, so like I always start all of my finger picking portions of my tutorials, there are a few ground rules we have to cover. First of all, I do like to number my guitar strings from the low E being 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all the way to the high E. So that's how I'll be referring to these strings for the rest of this picking portion of the tutorial. The next thing is our hands. So our left hand, you're going to just continue to fret these chords exactly how we were playing them whenever we were strumming. So your left hand's nothing's changing, but your right hand, what you're going to do is drop your pick, and instead of using your pick to strum, you're going to use your fingers to individually pluck these strings, okay? So with our right hand, there are a few more rules. I want you to take your pointer, middle, and ring finger, and those are going to live here at the bottom 3 strings, the 3, the 2, and the 1, okay? And then your thumb is the only finger that's going to be moving throughout this picking pattern, and your thumb is going to be dependent on what chord we're playing because it's going to cover the root or bass note. Okay, so I know that was a lot of information, so I'm going to break it down for you now, okay? Let's go ahead and start with our first chord, which is F. Like I said, in the chord portion, you do need to be playing the bar chord version of F to have it sound like the original song. But what I want you to do is we're going to take our 3 fingers down here on the bottom 3 strings, and you're just going to pick them. 3, 2, 1. All right, over and over. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. You're going to do that 4 times, and eventually what we're going to do is we're going to add our thumb in to kind of repeat the bass and root note, and it'll kind of make it sound more full. Alright, so on our F chord, your thumb is going to be on this 6th lowest E string, and you're going to pick it at the same time as that very first beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay. So let's go ahead and just go over the other chord shapes really quick. On our D minor, these 3 fingers, remember, are still living down here, but your thumb's gonna come down to this 4th string. So the pattern's gonna be exactly the same. We have 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. And remember, your thumb is gonna play on the 1st beat only. So we've got now next, A minor, your thumb's gonna move up a string to your 5th string, but the pattern's exactly the same. So we've got and then C, your thumb's gonna stay on the 5th string. And then the last chord in this song is our G chord. Your thumb's gonna move back up to the 6th string. So hopefully you're noticing how this pattern is applicable for all of the chords. Your thumb is the only thing that's moving, okay? So basically the rhythm is exactly like the strumming with the triplets. We've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I promise if you're finding this difficult, just make sure that you're assigning these 3 fingers to the bottom. And in fact, that's how I would recommend practicing this if you're new to finger picking. Don't worry about your thumb at first, just practice these bottom 3 fingers in the rhythm. Once you can do that and you kind of have these 3 fingers under muscle memory, just kind of going in that pattern, then go back and try to add in your thumb, because that one's going to be a little more difficult because you do have to switch strings depending on what chord you're playing. So if that helps, I would definitely recommend breaking it up like in that structure. But eventually, once you put it all together, it'll sound really great. And the good thing about this picking pattern is you can apply it for the whole song. So let me go ahead and show you what it sounds like with the verse. We've got F, 2, 3, 4, D minor, 2, 3, 4, A minor, C. And you just keep going like that for all the verses. We hereby conduct this post-mortem. He was a hothouse flower to same thing with the chorus. Like strumming in the chorus, when we go from our C to our G, you do want to split that measure in half again. So it's going to sound like this. We've got F, 2, 3, 4, C, 2 to G, 4. All right, so you just want to do that same split like in strumming. Come on, come on, it's happening again. The empathetic hunger descends. All right. We are going a little bit slow right now, so if you listen to the original song, it is a little bit faster, but don't worry about that if you're new. Just work on getting the muscle memory of your right hand down, and then go back and try to speed it up afterwards. So again, the last little section of this song we haven't covered is the bridge, and like with strumming, you're gonna play this picking pattern all the way through one time for each chord. So we're starting on D minor, 2, 3, 4, G. This is a little closer to full tempo as well. Say it once again with feeling, how the death rattle breathing silenced as the soul was leaving the deflation of our dreaming. All right, and you just keep going. But yeah, that's how you would do the picking pattern. Like I said, once you get the structure of it down and you kind of build up that muscle memory, you can apply it for the whole song and it sounds really close to the piano portion. So that's my recommendation for it. All right guys, so again, one last time, go ahead and pause the video and take as much time as you need to really get this picking pattern under your belt. It can be a little more difficult if you are new to playing guitar, so just give yourself plenty of time and grace to practice this. But once you get it down, like I said, you can apply it for the whole song and it sounds really pretty. But once you have that, then we can go ahead and put together everything we've learned in this tutorial, the chords, strumming, picking, whatever you want to play, together to play through the song. 1, 2, ready, go. Want to have fun jamming out to the rest of this song with me? Then make sure to check out my Patreon page where you can unlock access to this as well as all my other Swiftie sing-along guitar tutorials. I've covered so many of her songs from all the different eras, so if you are a Swiftie who loves to play her songs on the guitar, I would definitely recommend checking it out. I will link it in the description box down below. If you enjoyed learning this song with me, then you should definitely check out this video. Not only does it have a super similar vibe and feel, but it's just as fun and easy to play, so I'll see you over there.